Heathcliff is gone. You must accept it.
That was a clip from Wuthering Heights. And joining us now to talk more about the movies of the week is film critic Richard Crouse. Good morning, Richard. Let's start with Wuthering Heights, starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. There have been many adaptations. How does this version hold up?
Well, it's arriving just in time for Valentine's Day, which I think a lot of people were expecting that it would be this grand romance. And in some cases, it is. In some ways, it is. It is the story of star-crossed lovers. They meet when they are children. They are torn apart when Catherine, played by Margot Robbie, decides to marry a wealthy man who lives next door. Heathcliff, played by Jacob Elordi, decides that he can't live with that and disappears for 5 years. He returns wealthy, successful, better looking than he was before, and all of a sudden they have to confront their long-held love for one another. And it should be all about passion. It should be about this obsession. And in some ways it is, except that it never feels any more than skin deep. It doesn't really plumb the depths of what other versions of this movie have and what the Emily Bronte novel does so brilliantly, which is really get under the skin of the characters and make us understand why they would go to such lengths and display such cruelty to one another as the story progresses. So as a result, Wuthering Heights gets 2.5 stars out of 5 from me, and it's in theaters this weekend.
All right, this next one is kind of exciting for me because I'm actually a fan, but it's called Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and it is a time travel mockumentary adventure. Talk to us about the execution of the film, and are Nirvana fans going to appreciate it?
Oh, I think so. I loved this movie. This is based on a web series that was out like maybe 10 years ago. It was on television as well, about two guys, Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll, who desperately want to get a gig as musicians at the Rivoli nightclub on Queen Street West in Toronto. Trouble is, they have a band called Nirvana, but they never practice. They don't have any songs. They just keep coming up with these wild stunts to get the attention of people to get them the gig. And this movie is no different. The stunts are bigger, they're louder than they were on the television show, but they're equally as charming, equally as funny, and there's a time travel element to this as well. This, despite all its absurdity and despite the wild nature of the story, really boils down to the story of two best friends who are just trying to figure things out. And I think that's why this movie works. It's funny, it's a crowd pleaser, it'll make you laugh, but at the end of the day, it's kind of sweet as well. So I gave Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, 4 stars out of 5, and it's in theaters this weekend.
Sounds really good, but I'm so confused. This has nothing to do with the actual band Nirvana?
No. So the thing that is funny about this is that they decide to call themselves Nirvana. Of course, there was another more famous band, so they just added an extra N in the title. So that's why it should be spelled Nirvanna, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm glad we cleared up that confusion for viewers, Richard. Let's see if we have time for Cold Storage, a new sci-fi comedy starring Stranger Things star Joe Keery. Talk to us about this.
Yeah, this is a fun little B-movie riff about 2 night shift workers at a storage facility who discover that years before the government had buried some sort of mutating creature in the basement, trying to hide it from humanity because it could easily take over the world and kill everyone on Earth. Of course, it gets loose and they are put in charge of trying to stop this from destroying the world. This has some fun cameos from Leslie Manville and Liam Neeson. But what I liked about it is that it embraces its B-movie roots and just has a good time with a sort of grim and gory sci-fi story that I think if you're a fan of midnight movies, Midnight Madness movies, and B movies, you'll get a kick out of. So I gave Cold Storage, which is now in theaters, 3 stars out of 5.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us, Richard.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. That's Richard Crouse, film critic.